All right, what up, Who That Nation? This is No Cap, No Filter Saints. I'm your host, Marley G. And today we're going to go ahead on and give a response to the Mickey Loomis erratic rant. You know, he was up there geeking, he was up there tripping. He had his notepad ready. We're going to get into that. And we also going to get into the schedule. The schedule came out. We just don't know when we play these people. That make a huge difference. But just for fun, let's just go ahead on and just talk about what I feel like are the wins and what I feel like are the losses, just for fun. Things are subject to change after the draft, after the free agency, after the 53 roster cut down. Um, just a lot of things could happen. The logistics of the matter, when you play a team, where you play a team. You know, uh, how the bye week gonna go. So all that factors in. So we'll do that again, like right before the season start. But for right now, just for fun, we're just gonna go ahead on and just say, is it a win or is it a loss? Like a early, very early prediction to the draft. Just like to the schedule, just like a mock draft. But let's go ahead on and talk about the Mickey Loomis press conference and talk about the, you know, possible hirings of the OC that we brought in. So first of all, let's go ahead on and talk about Mickey Loomis press. I already knew that this press was going to get a lot of negativity. I already knew. Soon as that dude said, "Oh, I was ready for that question," and pulled out a pocket full of notes, like he went in that back pocket so quick and said, "Well, I was ready for that question," and he just started chewing this gum like he was just about to just be like, "Oh yeah, look, I bet y'all ain't know this. Bill Belichick, he was such and such his first season. Bill Walsh, he was such and such his fourth season. All these are Hall of Fame coaches, by the way." And just he just pulled out that damn notes and just went to saying all that. I don't know what the PR team be thinking before they send Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis to these podiums, but it just be horrible every time. They just don't have no type of social skills, no type of people skills. Before Mickey Loomis, you know, uh, had Dennis Allen. Sean just used to do all the work. He used to just basically get with the reporters, get with the media, and just tell all them, "Oh yeah, man, talk to Sean about that." Get with Sean about that. But now he's in the limelight, and a lot of these questions he has to go ahead on and jump in front of. He got to bite the bullet. Everybody want to know about Derek Carr. Everybody want to know about Dennis Allen. Everybody want to know what's going on with these dudes. He didn't have to really worry about that when we had Drew Brees and Sean Payton. He didn't have to answer the tough questions. He didn't have to just bite the bullet. He didn't have to worry about doubling down on is the decision for the head coach and quarterback, going in the right direction. He didn't have to worry about all that. Maybe towards the twilight of Drew Brees' career, as far as finding a successor, he had to worry about that. And maybe towards that third 79 season straight that Sean Payton had, he probably had a little bit of questions. But even that 79 season, you still had hope. Like right now, this is like the least amount of hope that you have as a fan, like if you've been a fan of this team like during the Sean Payton era. Like I've been a fan since the Jim Haslett and Aaron Brooks era. Like that's how long I've been a fan. Yeah, we had dog days before that. I already know about that, but right now it just seems like it's no hope, and it's just pisses people off because we have a good roster. Like we are a good organization. We the most winning organization in all of the sports, up until these last couple of seasons. I think Kansas City didn't pass us up, but other than that, we've been a winning organization. Jerry says, "What up, no cap? What up, Jerry?" Mike Saints fan for life says, "Hey, what up, Mike? I'll bring y'all guys on if y'all want to join in the show." Just talking about the Mickey Loomis situation in the OC. I'll start talking about the schedule in a few. Um, but yeah, he didn't have to worry about those things until like towards the end when everything was just, you know, kind of like going, in a different direction as far as the QB go and, you know, Everything was going in a different direction with those 379 seasons, but you still had hope. You felt like Sean Payton could turn things around. Yeah, defense was doing pretty bad, but at the same time, our offensive numbers was off the charts, and that just gave us hope because we had a quarterback. Like when you have a quarterback that can easily give you hope. How many times we seen Patrick Mahomes get counted out, but that motherfucker still make a deep playoff run. That motherfucker still make it to the Super Bowl. People like, oh well, he ain't got Hill no more. He ain't gonna be able to do it. The defense is this, the defense is that, but they still find a way, you know. So it's always hope if you're a Chiefs fan. Same thing how we had with Drew Brees. We always had hope that we were just gonna be in that number, but now it just don't seem like we got hope because the defensive coordinator is just masking around as a head coach. We got Derek Carr, who been in the league for 10 years, never won a playoff game, only had entered one playoff game. And the way they entered the playoff game was funny because the Chiefs thought they was just, gonna like go into a tie. So people gotta bring that up too into context. But yeah, man. Not the Chiefs, the Chargers. But what I was about to say, yeah, man, we gotta just put things into context. Like, this is not gonna work. This is not sustainable success. And Mickey Loomis, he's doubling down, and I guess he just wanna just be, you know, proving that he's right amongst the fan base and just say, you see, I told y'all if y'all just stay patient, we're gonna have these good results. Dennis Allen is a good head coach, but he's just not, factoring in all the stuff that's just been coming out about DA lately. Like, oh, that's just getting swept under the rug. The Amy Trask interview swept under the rug. I wish somebody would have asked him that in the press conference. Nobody asked him that. Nobody asked him these tough questions that he just can't tap dance around and just spin around. And when they do ask questions, they always tap dance instead of just asking directly. They could have just asked directly, is Marshall Lattimore getting traded? They don't do that. Everybody in the Saints media team is just too scared because they get their credentials pulled, you know? And I understand it. Like if you feeding your family and that's the way you gotta get your bread, cool. But they gotta be at least one live wire your renegade that's just gonna just say, you know what, I'm gonna go against the grain and I'm gonna have to be the one that's gonna ask these tough questions to Mickey Loomis. But nobody does it. But I understand that before the Jim Haslett era, it was very bad. But it was very bad because you know your organization stink. You knew it was just dog days. You knew it wasn't going to be no hope. And when you just know it's not going to be no hope, and you know your team is trash, that's a different level of uh frustration than when your team is actually good. Your organization is actually good, but you just got people just squandering it. Like we squandering chances to make the playoffs because the division is very weak. We squandering chances to make the playoffs because outside of the Lions and the 49ers, the NFC is very weak. So it's just like, man, you got golden opportunity ticket here and you wasting it with Dennis Allen. You got guys in their prime. Taysom Hill, to me, is still in his prime. You got Marshall Lattimore still in his prime. Alvin Kamara, to me, still in his prime. I don't think Michael Thomas is exactly in his prime, but he still could be very productive to a team if they was to use him right and if he was to stay healthy. You know? And we just squandering the rate this opportunity because Mickey Loomis just want to double down on DA and just prove everybody right. Talking about his assessment is he's a very good head coach. Since when? Since he got a 9-8 quote unquote winning season. But you got to put into context everything that happened for him to have this winning season. This easy division that he plays. He played the Panthers twice. He played the Falcons twice. You know, I don't think the Bucks are that good, but they're a decent team. He played them twice. Played all these backups. Baker Mayfield was the only full season starter that they beat all year. That was a veteran. Everybody else was a rookie or a backup or a person that was a starter, but he eventually got benched. So you got to take things into context. Mikey says DA is a fraud. Yeah, Mikey, you even called it out with him being a defensive coordinator. Like, is he really all that of a mastermind and defensive coordinator? You know, Yeah, he could coach the hell out of a secondary. I give him that. He could coach a secondary. But when it comes to just certain quarterbacks, you would expect him to dominate. When it comes to mobile quarterbacks, you would expect him to dominate. We don't really just dominate like that against, certain competition like we supposed to at the level that we supposed to sometimes. And it's just mind-boggling. But he's supposed to be this great defensive coordinator. Yet we can't just get pressure. Yet we not using Zach Bond early on in the season. We got to wait to the end of the season to figure out that he's a good pass rusher. Like, make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. You know. Uh, our running backs coach, I think he's took a job with the Giants, so he'll be gone. Our wide receivers coach, he'll be gone. I think he was standing up for the players in the locker room when he was kind of throwing them under the bus, like Chris Olave. Those guys be with the offensive. Those guys be with the position coach a lot, and the position coach, he got the most out of Rashid Shaheed. Like Rashid Shaheed, shoot, it was a slim chance him even being on the NFL roster, let alone being a starter at a wide receiver position outside of just running kicks. He got him as a valuable threat, but they barely even use him and put him to the game plan. That's why I said it was necessary to get another offensive coordinator. Chris Olave, 2 years in a row, over 1,000 yards with not good quarterback play. You know, you got A.T. Perry. He was coming into his own. He's attacking the ball. He's high pointing the ball when it's getting thrown to him. Maybe they just use him in more packages going forward. But he was a late pick and he's doing pretty good. You know, I'm sad that we didn't keep Shaq Davis. The Eagles poached him off our roster just like they poach all our good players. But Cody Burns, our receiver coach, they shipped him out, and I think they shipped him out because he had a voice, just like Ryan Nielsen had a voice, just like Chris Rashad had a voice, and they gonna speak up and say Dennis Allen ain't doing right things. That's what I think happened. Now, positions coach ain't as important as the play caller to me because you could coach up the position all you want. If the play call ain't getting right from the start, it ain't gonna matter because that's winning half the battle is putting your people in the right position to succeed. But that's another thing I felt like Michael Thomas was alluding to on his mediocrity post. I think he was talking about how they just getting Cody Burns up out of here. That's what I believe. You know, I ain't heard that or nothing, but I just try to put two and two together. You know, but they got those guys up out of here. Just like we got the tight ends coach up out of here last year when I feel like it wasn't necessary to do that, and now the tight ends took a step back this year. But you know, I digress. But we got those guys up out of here. We trying to interview the Rams passing game offensive coordinator. I think he's a pretty young guy. He's come from the McVay tree, so that'd probably be a good look for us. That'll probably be a damn good look for us. I forgot the guy's name, but he's the Rams offensive passing game coordinator. So that'll probably be a damn good look because their passing game has always been good as of late. You see the emergence of Puka Nuka. You see over the last couple of years, Cooper Cup, he's been dominating. Odell Beckham, he had success in their scheme. So, I think he's going to be a pretty good candidate. You also got a lot of people want the Browns running back coach up in here. You know, all the success they've been having with all the injuries they've been dealing with. But they still been doing their thing. Another coach that we're looking at is the Seahawks offensive coordinator. He got Geno Smith back right with his career. Geno Smith, he had an outstanding year last year. This year, he been dealing with injuries. Uh, but even when he was in the game, he kind of took a step back from last year. A lot of the Seahawks fans are apparently not happy with the offensive coordinator. Maybe they got something to do with them missing the playoffs. They were starting off pretty good in the season, but then they took a big, slump downhill. But to me, they use their tight ends packages a lot. I think that's something Derek Carr benefits from. You see how we was using our tight ends in the Bucks game. We dominated that game. Um, they use their running backs a lot. They have a lot of different variety of running backs that they like to use over there at the Seahawks organization. So that offensive coordinator was getting them involved. And but the Seahawks fan base, they were saying they don't get DK Metcalf involved enough. So I don't know, but Tyler Lockett, he was still pretty having a good season, And you got to remember that they went from Geno Smith, he got injured, and they had to play. I forgot the young guy name. I think his name Drew Lock. So they had to play Drew Lock. So I don't know. I don't think he's a bad option as offensive coordinator. But like I say, whatever offensive coordinator they bring, he needs to have head coach pedigree. He needs to be head coach material. That way, if DA fails, you already got the right guy in the building to be the head coach. Mickey said something about we got too comfortable around here, and I guess he was talking about certain people on the staff, certain players. If you want to get people uncomfortable, if you want to just, let off a fire under someone's ass, put someone in position that could take their job. And that's why I want to trade up for Jaden Daniels, make Carr uncomfortable. Maybe that's going to make him or break him, and we'll know for sure what we got out of him. Have an offensive coordinator come with an offensive uh, philosophy that's modern in the NFL. A lot of motions, a lot of pre-step motions, a lot of play actions, cater towards their strengths. I would prefer a young guy, but if he's kind of old and he can relate to the players, that's cool too. But he has to have head coach pedigree and he have to be head coach material. And DA got to be feared that this guy can take his job if he doesn't performs well, especially if the offense is performing, but we still losing games. So if we're like 3-8, but the offense was kind of better than last year, but the defense took a step back. Okay, that's going to promote that offensive coordinator to the head coach position if things get rocky for DA, and we just going to have to go on and make that decision for Judgment Day. Get the head coach, you know, get the coordinator with head coach material in the building. We already did it with Dennis Allen. To me, he wasn't the right guy for the choice, but he did such a good job at defensive coordinator. They gave him a shot, and he already had head coach, experience. Good at with the Raiders, but they felt like, okay, well, maybe he can learn from his mistakes. You know, so we need to get guys up in here that can make guys uncomfortable, and that's going to either make them or break them. We get an offensive coordinator who's head coach material. We get a quarterback who can ride the bench behind Derek Carr, but Derek Carr know one thing: if he get hurt, this dude is liable to take his job, just like Jameis Winston got his job took from Andy Dalton. You know. Now I see next season going as a win-win kind of, because if you on the side of the fan base that you just want to see the team win and do good, maybe this offensive coordinator could come in and spice things up and make us go on a roll and we could just make the playoffs. But if you just want DA to kind of fall fat on his face, this probably his last chance. Now the worst thing that can happen is we go 9-8 again, which I don't think gonna happen, but it's possible. We could go 9-8, miss the playoffs, and retain Dennis Allen again because he had a quote unquote another winning season. That's the worst thing that can happen. You know. Mikey says, exactly why do you think he takes over full defensive responsibility? Our defense took a step back. Yeah, man, I feel like Chris Richard, he's definitely missed with that defensive line. I mean, not Chris Richard, Ryan Nielsen, he's definitely missed with his defensive line. But he's getting other defensive coordinator opportunities. Chris Richard, he's actually getting head coach opportunities. Like Chris Richard, he was a guy that really demanded respect, really earned respect, and just well respected throughout his whole career in the NFL. Just the way he carried himself, his whole demeanor, just screams out leadership. And I think that's another reason why Dennis Allen got him up out of here. Like Dennis Allen don't want no alpha males around him because that's gonna be detrimental to his job security because the players are gonna uh, easily gravitate towards them than him. You know, And that's why I feel like the same thing can happen with John Gruden. Now, the only thing about John Gruden is an asterisk. Like, will the Saints actually hire him as the head coach and he's suing the NFL? I don't know. Like, you're going to go from Sean Payton, who was kind of disliked by Roger Goodell, to a guy who's having all these, nasty things on his name. And on top of that, he's suing the NFL. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. But we'll see. I love Robinson from the Rams. Please get him. Yeah, yeah, that's the guy, Robinson. I forgot his first name, Mikey, but yeah, Robinson from the Rams, the passing game coordinator. That's the guy that we brought in, and we might go ahead on and have him as the offensive coordinator. And I think he's pretty young, so he's coming from the McVay tree. Everybody feel like they want a guy from the McVay tree or from the Shanahan tree, like that's just the trees that you just can't miss with. And they just modernized in the NFL. A lot of people like the Kubiak guy from the Shanahan tree as well. Dana says, who that fam? What up, Dana? Thanks for joining the show. You always welcome here. You always showing love, man. I'm about to go ahead on and open up the link. If you want to go ahead on and come talk with me and help me go through this schedule, feel free to join. Let's see here. Okay, the link is officially posted down below. If you want to join in, feel free to join in. We could go ahead on and do this early schedule prediction. But yeah, man, it's just all doom and gloom right now. It's just like no optimistic hopes and faith as a Saints fan right now. With Dennis Allen, at the helm. And a lot of people was giving me flack because I said on Twitter, this is the worst, I ever felt in my Saints fanhood. Like with Hazlitt and Aaron Brooks, I knew we wasn't all that good. So it was kind of like, I'm just rooting for my team and just hoping things get better. I had a little bit of hope that things could get better, but under DA, I have no hope. Like I know he's not the right guy. I just know. And under Sean Payton, yeah, we had 3 years where we went 7-9, consistently. I think some of those years, it was the Bounty Gate year where Sean actually wasn't even coaching one of the time. And one of the years was we actually had one of the worst defenses in NFL history at one point in time. So, context matters. And that last year, we just got rid of all of those locker room bad apples like Junior Gillette and, people like that. Kenny Stills, so but Sean, he demanded respect, and if you didn't respect Sean, he was gonna get you up out of there, and he'll replace you. You know. So my thing is, right now, I don't have no type of expectations on this team for the new year. I will go into the next year rooting for the team to do good, but once I feel like we're at that breaking point where it's all hope is lost, and I don't really see anything good coming from it, I'm gonna just go ahead on and root for Da to fall flat on his face. People was getting mad at me when I rooted for the Saints to lose after that Falcons game. Like, I was kind of rooting for them to win that Falcons game, but after that Falcons game, I was rooting for them to lose because I already then checked out after the Minnesota Viking games the week before. But people will get mad at me because I was rooting for them to lose, but I felt like it was the best interest for us because it could get Dennis Allen up out of here. The quicker he get up out of here, the quicker we could get back to being on the right path. Will it be automatic success? I don't know, but I know it won't be success as long as he's in there. And you can't tell me that the Falcons aren't in a better position than us. You can't tell me that. The same thing that happened with the Falcons is what I wanted to happen to us. They fired their head coach. Bam. Arthur Smith is out the building. So bam, that's you have as a Falcons fan, you have higher expectations now that the wrong guy that was in the position is out the building. Now they didn't interview Jim Harbaugh. They didn't interview Ben Johnson. They didn't interview Bill Belichick twice. And they got the 8th overall pick. You can't tell me that they don't have a better future than us. You can't tell me that they don't have a brighter future than us. We're going to be in neutral while they're going to be in drive. So if you think that we got a better, brighter future than them, you sadly mistaken. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be in their shoes. And friendly reminder to the people about the Buccaneers playoffs. Friendly reminder: whatever success they have, that does not mean the Saints would have had the same outcome if we were in their shoes. We had our chance. Da wet the bed. Whatever success they have does not mean we will have the same success. So save the we coulda, woulda, shoulda been in their shoes, and we could have had the same fate. So if they go in there and beat the Lions, I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh man, that should have been us." Nah, Da wouldn't have did that. If he would have did that, he would have been in the playoffs. Simple as that. So save the coulda, woulda, shouldas. You know, go ahead on and bring on Mike. What up, Mike?
What up?
You got your Pelican shirt on, huh?
Yep.
Hey man, I
But
said
not
that
just
Willie
that.
Green, he's like our only hope right now.
But
Willie
just
Green is our
but
only
look
hope.
at
Hopefully he can
look at
progress.
what this name says. Look at what this. Oh, where is that? Right, right here. Look
Hurricane.
at that. Yeah, I got my own shirt. So
Yeah, man, that's good, man. Hopefully the Pelicans, hopefully they could figure things out and just, in this 3-year window they might have, hopefully they could get like at least one ring. I think that'll really just take away the negative energy the Saints are bringing us right now, and really just,
shoot, I'll take a conference finals appearance at this point.
Oh yeah, I don't think we're gonna win a ring this year. I still think we're a little bit too young. I think that Zion and Brandon Ingram don't have that killer instinct mentality, and I think that Willie Green he still got things to learn. But the next 2 years after this, that's gonna be our shot. Like we gotta get it like with those next 2 years after this. So we gotta see what we're gonna do with all these draft picks that we just sitting on. So we got a lot. We got to make something happen with a trade. But
we're the 5th seed in the West, and honestly, in the West, and trust me, the West is definitely tougher than the East. Trust me. So obviously they got the Bucks and the Celtics, but that's pretty much it. But we're the 5th seed in the West, so I think our potential is maybe like a game 6 or game 7 in the second round to maybe a game 6 in the third round. I think that's our potential. And hey, I would love to get a ring this year. But hey, I'm not one of these dumb fans who think that we're going to win the rest of our games and win a championship. Because, man, we got things to work on. Because, every NBA champion the last few years have had experience. The Nuggets, obviously, that was their first championship, but they've had experience being in that situation before. With them playing the Lakers a few years ago in the bubble. Then Jokic, he was playing better. And then the Warriors, we already know what it was with them. And the Bucks, Giannis was arguably the best player in the NBA at that time. Some people still think that he is. So, I don't think the Pelicans are going to win now. But, hey, I think our future is bright. It's definitely brighter than these bum-ass Saints. So.
Yeah, man. Like I say, man, all we could do is just hope that Willie Green progresses and Zion and BI, they take that next step. The talent is there with Zion and BI, but it's the mentality there. That's all they need to focus on. Like, do you got that killer instinct? But let's go ahead on and talk about these Saints, Mike. You mentioned that you would love Robinson. Is there anybody else that you would love as the offensive coordinator? And tell me why.
So all right. So me and my dad, we started a podcast on my own show, right? Mm-hmm. And we brought up a question: who would we want to see as our OC, right? And I gave him 3 names: Luke Getsy, what's that? The dude from the Chargers, Kellen Moore, and I said somebody else, but those are basically like the top 2 guys that I would like. Because Luke Getsy is an underrated. I know he got fired from Chicago, but dude, this man coached Aaron Rodgers. So look, he knows how to coach good talent, right? And look, he was making Justin Fields look good. So, and look, I like Getsy, because he knows how to draw up plays, like he, like for example, the last game versus Atlanta, we had Derek Carr run a Taysom Hill package. Like what?
Yeah.
And but Luke Getsy, he knows how to get the best out of his guys, so I like him. And Kellen Moore, I don't think that there's no explanation. I know a lot of Dallas fans are cheering like they won the Super Bowl when he got fired. I personally thought he did a good job, but that's just me. But yeah, I would really like Luke Getsy in this building. I don't care what you call me. I would really like Luke Getsy because he has experience with working with other quarterbacks. And what is a Justin Fields compared to Derek Carr? So I think with Derek Carr, he can do some things.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to offensive coordinator, like I say, I just hope he have head coach pedigree and he just head coach material. Like, because if Dennis Allen fails, we already got that guy up in the building that the players can respect. They gravitated towards. He has a voice, and he could just get the best out of guys. And like I say, I want an offensive minded head coach. So that's the main thing that I hope that they looking for when they doing this hiring process. Now when it comes to Robinson, the passing game coordinator for the Rams, I think he's pretty young. So that's another thing I want. I want somebody young. Now I'll take somebody older and more seasoned veteran as a head coach, but if they're young, I think that's a plus as well.
Yeah, because like me and the Who Dat Center, we went live for a lot of Saints games, and he brought up a good point, and I was agreeing with him that, for example, you see Tampa Bay, you know why they're having the success? Because they have a young dude in running their offense or a young OC. That's why they were able to put up the points that they put up against Philadelphia. That's why they were able to make a late run to make the playoffs. That's why.
And not only
Because
that, Baker Mayfield, I don't think talent wise, he's just, leaps and bounds better than Derek Carr. But when it comes to the intangibles, like being a good teammate, I think he's a better teammate than Derek Carr. I think he has more, I think he's more of a gamer than Derek Carr, like has more moxie or whatever. And he just had more swag. Like I think the players just like him. And, I really believe that. Like this guy took the Browns to the playoffs, and they started finding success after they had Baker Mayfield. Yes, he was having problems with Odell Beckham, but I just feel like Odell Beckham is just one of those receivers that yes, he has very amazing talent, but you might have problems with him, no different than Antonio Brown.
yeah, yeah, like because I feel like Odell Beckham, like, so hear me out, right? Odell Beckham, phenomenal receiver. He's the reason why young people are trying to do one-handed catches. He's the reason. But I just didn't agree with the things he was saying because like he did. People forget he did the same thing with Eli Manning that he did with Baker Mayfield. Like, and I don't agree with that because, like, for example, that's why I'm mad at the Saints because Dennis Allen threw his players under the bus, and Odell Beckham was throwing Baker Mayfield under the bus. Dude was acting like it was a freaking game during like a game at the park where it's like, man, throw me the ball, man. Nah, bro. It's the NFL. You get paid millions of dollars to trash on your quarterback. I don't like that. Obviously, if your quarterback ain't performing well, you might, I won't say call him out, but you gotta tell him to do better. But Baker Mayfield didn't really do that bad, and plus he was playing with a hurt shoulder, which is what Derek Carr was playing with for most of the season, and I do not believe anything otherwise. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't like it when people throw players under the bus. That's why I do not like players like Justin Fields. I don't like players like Odell Beckham. I mean, I like him since he's from LSU, but I don't like his antics. Antonio Brown pisses me off. So I like and Michael Thomas, man, I love him, but he be pissing me off too sometimes. So
Yeah, and when it comes to the offensive coordinator position, like people got to understand, yes, there's only 32 of these in the NFL, but a lot of people know that Dennis Allen is on a hot seat. And if you have a guy come in and he's not head coach material, he know that he's going to be on the chopping block as well if Dennis Allen doesn't succeed. So if Dennis Allen gets fired, as a head coach, that means the next head coach going to want to bring in his staff. So that's reasons why guys are kind of iffy about taking jobs working with other guys. Like nobody wants to work with Dennis Allen because everybody feel like he's a dead man walking. Now, if you're an offensive coordinator and you have head coach pedigree and just head coach makeup to you, then you probably won't be as worried because if you're confident in your offense, you know that you're going to perform on your side of the ball. And if Dennis Allen just don't perform as a head coach overall, okay, well, it's a chance that they might just promote me to head coach while I'm in the building. You're not like a Pete Carmichael who, you know, they don't want all that responsibility. You're an alpha. You want that responsibility, and you're capable of taking on that responsibilities. And I think that Dennis Allen, he doesn't want alphas around him because he knows that he will get outshined.
Yeah, that's why I don't look. That's why I don't. That's basically why I don't like Carmichael, because or Da, because both of them, they just did not know how to work together. Like you got Da saying that the defense is stuff. You got Carmichael saying it's his fault when no duh. Yeah.
So what do you feel about Mickey Loomis' comments? Like, soon as he got to the presser, he kind of brought up the fact that, well, Bill Belichick, he went such and such his first years. Bill Walsh went such and such his first years, and he just brought up some Hall of Fame coaches and said, well, these guys, they knew the staff knew there was the right guy for the job, and they were just patient with them, And I feel like, to my assessment, Dennis Allen is a good coach. What do you feel about Mickey Loomis' comments?
All right. I understand where he's coming from. I really do. Bill Belichick has 6 rings. Okay? There's no way. Look, and I know it started rough first career, whether it was in Cleveland, resigning from the Jets, going to New England. Nobody knew how he was going to really do.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. I do. Every coach starts somewhere. But Bill Belichick, when he was in his down years, he was not saying the stuff Dennis Allen was saying. I guarantee you, Bill Belichick, he would have knocked his player under the bus. Well, he probably would now, but back then, no.
Yeah,
Man.
and then you got to get this. I don't even think they had free agencies back then. Like, they couldn't even, build their team with free. They just, all they had was a draft back then. And on top of this, and on top of that, they inherited some bad organizations and bad teams. Like, Dennis Allen was gifted a easy division, and an easy schedule, and still couldn't do it, and a good roster. I don't like the hindsight takes talking about the roster wasn't good enough. Like, this is the hindsight take. Like, I can't stand that stuff. Before the season, people were saying, "Who's stopping this?" When they was putting up all these graphics with Jawan Johnson, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Taysom Hill. We had our defense. We had Colin Saunders. We had Nathan Shepard come and help out. We drafted Brian Brzee. Like, people were saying, man, we got a good roster, man. You know, we just hopefully we could stay healthy, and hopefully the coaches could coach good. And for the most part, we stayed healthy. 10 weeks through. Yeah, Derek Carr had an injury, but once again, that was on coaching, because right after the injury, you had a chance to play Jameis Winston against the Bucks. A healthy Jameis Winston, and you knew Carr was limited all through training, all through practice, but you still put Carr out there. That game against the Bucks that you could have had Jameis play could have sent us to the playoffs. Who knows? And a lot of people are taking the hindsight takes, talking about, the Green Bay game lost us the game, lost us not going to the playoffs. Yeah, I understand the Green Bay game. We was up 17 in the fourth quarter, but you still got to look at a lot of other games that we squandered. Like, that was in week 3. We had what, 16 other weeks to make up for it. Like, You ain't gonna talk about all the red zone trips that we had in Atlanta when we lost that to Atlanta. It was
14.
in the red zone 5 times. You know, it was a lot of it was a lot of games that we just squandered. The Texans game we had we we couldn't even much do nothing in the red zone that game. So it was a lot of games that we squandered. The
And the
Buccaneers game
Saints,
we
the
rolled
fact
out
that
that
the
with Derek
Saints
Carr
started
wasn't.
2-0, 2-0, and we finished 9-8. That is disrespect to New Orleans. 2-0, 2-0. When we're 2-0, you can tell us nothing. Now look at us. We're on the couch in Tampa Bay's playing Detroit.
You know. But let's go ahead on and do this early schedule prediction, Mikey. You down for that?
Sure, I ain't got nothing better to do, so sure.
All right. Dana says, what about Cliff Kingsbury as OC if he doesn't sign with the Bears? I think that he's gonna definitely sign with the Bears. I think he had worked with Caleb Williams for a little bit before he went to the NFL. So I definitely think he's gonna go ahead on the sign with the Bears. You want to get Caleb Williams very comfortable. As soon as he come through those doors, you want to build around Caleb Williams. I think they're gonna get Cliff Kingsbury. He's a good offensive coordinator. Well, he's a good offensive minded coach. And I think that, they're gonna just go ahead on and pair him with Caleb Williams as the offensive coordinator. Who's gonna be the head coach? I'm not sure, but I think they're rolling with that same head coach, huh, Mikey? I think
Yeah, Matt Eberflus is staying in Chicago.
Yeah, so yeah, Caleb Williams here going to have Cliff Kingsbury as his head, as his offensive coordinator, and that's something the Bears are seeing. They know Cliff Kingsbury. He's not a head coach material. He's good as a coordinator. So just keep him as a coordinator. Let him run that offense with Caleb Williams, and they'll be all right. Like, it's a good time to be a Bears fan. You can't go wrong as a Bears fan right now. But yeah, I doubt Cliff Kingsbury as an offensive coordinator get a shot. And like I say, Dana, I want somebody who's head coach material. I don't think Cliff Kingsbury is head coach material. Uh, Kathleen says, "Who that family? What up, Kathleen? Thanks for joining the show." Um, but yeah, let's go ahead on and get to this schedule. Early prediction schedule, just like a mock draft. Things are subject to change with free agency, the draft, trades, things of that nature. But just for fun, we're just gonna go through the schedule right now, and we're gonna see what the Saints could be. Um, right now, let's just go through the home games, Mikey. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna tell you a team, and just tell me if you think we're gonna win or lose. Falcons.
Lose.
Yeah, the Falcons. People can't tell me that they not have a brighter future than us right now. They just hired Jim Harbaugh, Ben Johnson, and Bill Belichick got his second interview. They have the 8th overall pick in good position to get a Michael Penix Jr. in good position to get a JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix, in good position to even trade up for a Jaden Daniels. It
Yeah.
just depends on what head coach they get and who they want as their quarterback. Because I definitely don't think it'll be Ritter or Taylor Heineke. Not to mention they have a good defense. They have some good playmakers. They have Kyle Pitts. They have Drake London. They have Bijan. They have Tyler Algier. They still have Patterson. Like, they got some weapons. To me, if you think we got a brighter future than them, you sadly mistaken. And that's why I wanted to lose ever since the Atlanta loss to be in their position they're at right now. So I think we probably definitely split with them. But at for the home game, um, shoot, I think we'll probably lose that one too because they just got too much going for them, on the uptick. All right, the Panthers.
People might call me crazy. I say we lose.
Mm. Dana says, I think the Patriots will get Jaden Daniels. Well,
They
they
probably
do
will.
have Gerard Mayo over there. D'Amico Ryans, he's a young linebacker. They drafted CJ Stroud. They see the blueprint. Maybe the word is out. So, maybe they do get Jaden Daniels. That would be crazy because they in Massachusetts, but it is what it is. But I feel like the Panthers, If they get a good head coach, they got to be a team to be watched out for too. Because make no mistake about it, they have a good defense. Now, I don't know what they're gonna do with Brian Burns, but they have a good defense, a young good defense at that. Now when it comes to offensive playmakers, they got a lot of work to do to get Bryce in the best position. But I'd say we probably win this game against the Panthers at home. So I'm gonna give us the win, but it's probably gonna be tough. All right, Buccaneers.
Man, I don't think this is for conversation. I say we lose that game too. I think we will at least the bare minimum split with everybody. I don't see us sweeping nobody with this team.
Yeah, I don't see us sweeping nobody either in the division. The Buccaneers, I don't know what they're gonna do with Baker Mayfield. I don't know what they're gonna do with their quarterback when it comes to the draft. Depend on if they lose in a bad fashion to Detroit, they might get rid of Todd Bowles. It's a lot of question marks with the Bucks. They also have Mike Evans. I don't think they're gonna resign him, so he might be a free agent. It's a lot of question marks with the Bucks, but as of right now, you gotta say that you know, they're doing what they got to do to, be just good enough to at least beat Dennis Allen ass. So I got us splitting with them. All right, the Browns. This all the home games, by the way, Mikey. I'm just going through the home games first. I'm gonna let you know when I'm get to the away games.
Cleveland, I mean, I don't know who their quarterback will be. Nick Chubb maybe will be back. Amari Cooper does scare me. It might be crazy. I see us going 0-4 in the home games. And I'm not trying to say this so that I can get fired quick. I'm not trying to say that. I legitimately don't think that we're beating Cleveland. You see what
Well,
Joe Flacco did against bad teams, and we are one of those bad teams.
Well, they have a good head coach. Like no matter what they had to go through adversity, their head coach prevailed. Like they got Joe Flacco literally off the couch, and he was doing better than Carr. They had multiple injuries. They lost Kareem Hunt. They got him back. They lost Deshaun Watson. They lost multiple guys, but they were still in the thick of things. And on top of that, they had a way harder schedule than we had. So I got us losing to the Browns. All right, now this gonna be the one right here. Denver Broncos, Sean
No,
Payton.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an asshole. No. Sean Payton versus Dennis Allen. Oh no. I
Hey,
don't care if their quarterback is Drew Lock again. I don't care if they got Drew Lock back. Nope, that ain't. Nope, no, 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 no. Sean Payton ain't gonna lose to no Dennis Allen. He knows Dennis Allen, first of all.
and Sean Payton gonna slip them panties right to the side. He ain't got the time to take draws off when it comes to Dennis Allen. Boy, he gonna stick it to Mickey Loomis. He's gonna. I think it's gonna be more about Mickey Loomis than Dennis Allen when it comes to Sean Payton. He gonna show them why he wanted to leave and what y'all missing out on. Especially when it comes to him getting his new quarterback, it's gonna be very interesting to see what quarterback he goes with. Um, I was hearing that he actually didn't want Davenport. It was actually somebody else. I don't know if he wanted Lamar Jackson, so maybe this will be his opportunity to get a Jaden Daniels to make up for, missing out on Lamar Jackson. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see what direction they go when it comes to quarterback now that Russell Wilson is out the building. Um, so that's definitely going to be a game that I feel like a lot of the fans are going to show up for. Like if it's any home game people are going to show up for, it's definitely going to be versus the Falcons and it's definitely going to be versus the Broncos. Uh Next, the Raiders.
Raiders, Derek Carr playing his old team.
Dennis Allen playing his old team.
Man, he don't count for shit. Um, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying we're gonna lose this game too. I like Aiden O'Connor. I like him.
Well, we talked about Carr playing his old team. We talked about Dennis Allen playing his old team. Can't forget about Hunter Winfro gonna be playing his old team because I feel like we're gonna make we're gonna take a shot at him and getting him to this offense. I think that Hunter Renfro, I think he could help and be productive within the red zone for us. Probably can help on third down and move the chains for us. But I, at this point in his career, I don't think he's gonna just be an overall big stat production guy. I think he could just help out in certain moments, and that's just moving the chains on certain red downs. I mean, certain third downs because he has the chemistry with Cole, and helping in the red zone because he has the chemistry with Cole. But the Raiders, I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder this game. I think the Dennis Allen and Derek Carr going to have a chip on the shoulder this game. I think it's going to be a very competitive, close game. Max Crosby, I think he's going to definitely be coming after Derek Carr with all he got. Um, but at home, I don't know. That's kind of hard. It depends on what head coach they got, and it depends on what quarterback they have. Um, but I think they're on the uptick. But I think we just go ahead and somehow pull out that win. I think we somehow pull out that win, some way, somehow. All right, next game, the Rams. The Rams come into the Superdome again.
All right, this game, y'all won't hate me. I say the Saints do beat the Rams. You know, when we have their former offensive coordinator, he's going to draw up some plays. You know, Aaron Donald ain't going to be there. Matthew Stafford ain't going to be there. Cooper Kupp ain't going to be there. Nobody going to be there for LA. Saints finally win a game for the first time in what feels like a couple years.
Okay. Well, I do think that Matthew Stafford's going to come back. Maybe they draft a successor at quarterback behind him. They already got a good young core with Puka Nuka and Kyron Williams. Um, I think Aaron Donald will be back. Cooper Cup will be back. Sure, I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think we lose that game just because I think Sean McVay is just a better head coach than Dennis Allen. Like the proof is in the pudding. Like he just get out schemed by good head coaches, and I think that Matthew Stafford, I think that he's a better quarterback than Derek Carr. Matthew Stafford, he gets the ball out quicker. He's more confident in his throws. Like I just believe he's more of a gamer than Derek Carr. All right, the big bad Eagles come to town.
Honestly, I think the Saints win this game, and I think this will be one of the trap games. I know since it's the Saints, you can never really call anything a trap game, but I think it's gonna be one of those games where it's like, who are we? Type of games. I think it's gonna be like a Saints versus Lions from last year, where we kept it close and nearly won the game, but even though the game was not close, but. I think it's gonna be one of that, except the Saints pull it out. And why do you think I'm saying the Saints win? Because my mom's an Eagles fan, and if I have to suffer, she has to suffer with me. Damn it.
Well, I feel like the Eagles just got our number. Like I think they had a down year this year. They made it to the Super Bowl. When you make it to the Super Bowl, win or lose, you're gonna get every team best shot because they know you are their measuring stick. I always say fashion matters. And when you're playing a Super Bowl caliber team, you want to give that team your best shot to see exactly where you are. And like I say, we didn't have a hard schedule this year, but I think if we would have dominated a lot of these bottom bottom tier teams, I think in better fashion, I think that could have been our measuring stick. But when it comes to the Eagles, I think they got our number. I think Jalen Hurts, he bounces back. They're gonna lose Kelsey. That's gonna hurt them very much. They have a lot of free agents there that they're gonna have. But I think they bounce back with some better coordinators for Nick Sirianni. I don't think he's that good of a head coach, but I think they bounce back with some better offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators for him. I think they go ahead on and draft a center or something like that, help out Jalen Hurts. But I think they beat us, man. Like sometimes a team just got your number, and I just don't think that Dennis Allen has yet figured out how to stop the mobile quarterback. Maybe he goes into the draft and gets something better with the trenches, but we still got a lot to work on when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, when it comes to the trenches as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see us play the Eagles this game at the Dome. All right, next game, the Washington Commanders.
Lose.
Once again, this is another team that got a question mark at quarterback. I don't know if they're gonna stick with Sam Howell or they're gonna go head on and get Jaden Daniels, promote up Eric B. Enemy the head coach, and Jaden Daniels be his version of Patrick Mahomes. I don't know what they're gonna do. So it's gonna be very interesting. They lost two defensive starters this year. So They're gonna have some work to do when it comes to getting that defense back right. They're gonna have some work to do if they're gonna get them a quarterback. It's just a lot. This is just a lot they gotta work on. But I got us winning that game. I got us winning that game. Against the Washington Commanders. Every time we play those guys, it's always close. They always give us a tough game, but I just got us like coming through right on top, right about a half our ass. All right, now we're gonna go to the away games, Mikey. You
Mm-hmm.
basically said we split with the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Bucks. So I'm gonna just go ahead on and skip all them and just get to the other opponents. Uh, the Cowboys at their house.
This is not the playoffs. We lose.
Yeah, the Cowboys. I definitely think we're gonna lose. They brought back Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn. People already know Dan Quinn is a good defensive coordinator, but he's not a good head coach. Just like Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen need to be where Dan Quinn is right now and having a hard time getting a head coach gig. You know, but Dan Quinn is a good defensive coordinator. Yes, they lost bad to Jordan Love. But sometimes you just have bad days, and I think that was definitely a bad day on Dan Quinn. But it was a bad day for the Cowboys offense as well. But I definitely think we lose this game against the Cowboys. They have a good roster, top to bottom. Mike McCarthy is a better head coach than Dennis Allen. Dak Prescott, he was playing at an MVP level this year, but I still think he's not leaps and bounds better than Derek Carr. But at the same time, I think they put him in a better position to succeed, and he has a better O line. So I got us losing that game against the Cowboys, especially in their house. It's hard to beat them at home. Like they really have a home field advantage, much like how the Saints used to have that we don't have anymore. All right, Lambeau Field, go back to Green Bay.
I don't see us winning.
Yeah, we're
You
gonna
see,
have.
we lost to them when Jordan Love wasn't even that good.
Yeah, that was
Now
in week
he's top
three.
3 in the NFL in touchdowns. Oh no, no,
Yeah,
no.
we caught him week 3 where he was still young in his first season as a starter, and we caught him in week 3 where Lambeau wasn't even cold. So yeah, I think he's going to have a lot to figure out. He's going to have a lot of experience with these playoffs. I think by the time we play him, in this away game, hopefully we get lucky and play them where it's not cold again. We don't play them in December or November, but I think that we're going to lose this game. I think that Matt LaFleur is just a better head coach than Dennis Allen. I think that Jordan Love is a better quarterback than Derek Carr. Now we do gotta see it again. Like I feel like you can't just automatically put a quarterback in elite status after one season. They have to do it consistently, at least 3 years of consistency before they get into that realm. I think that Jalen Hurts, I think losing these coordinators hurt. I think that they have some problems within that locker room, but everybody still put him at elite status after one elite good year. And I think that you just can't do that. Everybody can have a good year. Everybody can have a good year, but you got to do it consistently. And that's the same thing go for Jordan Love and the same thing go for CJ Stroud, because everybody's going to have more film on them. They're going to know more of their weaknesses. And the jury gonna be out. The book is gonna be out on these guys. Can they overcome it, or will they fall flat? Who knows? That's remained to be seen. But you know, I think that for right now, Jordan Love, he's upticking in the right direction. All right, now we go to Kansas City.
Honestly, look, I'm not trying to be an asshole and say that we are 3-0 against my mother's teams, but I love that. And I think the Saints pull off an upset over
Mm,
the Chiefs. And hear me out, right? I know it's going to be in Kansas City, but I don't really. Obviously, next year won't be the same as this year. But from the Chiefs, I don't really trust them. I think the Saints can pull off a win. I mean, the Chiefs, like, last time we played the Chiefs, I mean, we kept it close in Drew Brees last year. We kept it close when they still had Tyreek Hill and stuff. So with an aging Derek Carr, I like our chances. I said the Saints win, and hey, this is gonna be the one lucky win other than the Eagles game. I think the Saints get like a couple lucky wins every year that they probably shouldn't have, but they will get somehow, even though they're still gonna suck anyway. So
Okay, Mikey. So far, you have splitting with all the divisions, so that's 3 games. So you got us winning 3 games. You said we're going to beat the Eagles, so that's 4 games.
yeah,
Uh, you said we're gonna beat the Kansas City Chiefs, so that's 5 games. So right now
and
you
the
have
Rams. I said we're gonna beat the Rams too.
so you have us at 6 wins.
Yep.
Okay. The Chiefs, I got us losing this game once again. Head coach, quarterback combination. Andy Reid is leaps and bounds, light years better than Dennis Allen. Patrick
There
Mahomes
are
is,
rumors that he's gonna retire after if they lose.
huh?
There are rumors that Reed might hang it up after this year.
Oh well, damn, he definitely gonna get DA on his resume as another win before he hang it up if that's true. But Patrick Mahomes is light years better than Derek Carr. Even though when Derek Carr was playing for the Raiders, they used to be kind of competitive with the Chiefs. They lost to the Chiefs a lot, but Derek Carr used to be kind of competitive. But who knows? Maybe we just looking at these in-game results and just saying, man, it was probably empty yards. It was empty stats, trying to make a late heroic comeback. So I don't know, but I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. Chris Jones, he's going to give problems to Ruiz. He's going to give problems to Eric McCoy probably. That defense did get better. They have nowhere else to go but to improve the wide receiver core. Maybe Michael Thomas be a free agent and go to Kansas City and go help them out. I got Kansas City definitely winning this game at Arrowhead. And they probably be Michael Thomas' revenge game if he was to go out and help KC within the free agency realms. And on top of that, I think they're going to draft a wide receiver. Like that's the main thing they need to fix. All right. An away game next is the New York Giants. We go to Dayfield.
Giants, I see us winning. I do not like the Giants. I think their fans are assholes. But that's not why I have us winning. Mostly to stick it to them, but also, I don't know who their quarterback is, and to be honest, I don't care. Daniel Jones, I mean, he had his one lucky year, and then he went back to sucking. And then Tyrod Taylor, he's just proven to be a good backup. And Tommy DeVito, I mean, the Saints shut that down real quick. So they could draft somebody. I think that might be what they do, but who knows if they value anybody at their pick. I got the Saints winning this game. I think it shouldn't be close, but on the Saints are going to do some weird thing. So give me the Saints for this game.
All right, so that's your 7th win, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so far we got 7 wins from you on this schedule. By the way, this schedule is the second easiest schedule in the league according to the data at the
Bull
moment.
crap. That's bull crap. Don't listen. We had the easy. We had technically the second easy schedule last year. You saw. Did we go to no playoffs? I don't think we went to no playoffs. Do not take the bull crap schedule. I made a video debunking that shit.
Dana says, Mikey, I'm with you, fam. My faith in this team is very little with Dennis Allen as a head coach. I have us going 5-12 or 6-11. And we go 5-12 or 6-11, you could almost guarantee that Dennis Allen will have a ticket out of town from New Orleans. Like I think this is very much his last leg. Mickey Loomis last season, well, this season he said, "I know we have the right people in the building." Yet he fires Pete Carmichael. So if he said, "I know we got the right people in the building," then fire Pete Carmichael, stuff could sound good at the moment, but when it's time for Judgment Day, you got to go by the results driven league. And this is Dennis Allen third year. A lot of coaches, they get 3 years. And that third year is definitely the make or break year. So Dennis Allen is getting his fair shot and getting his 3 years. If he can't get it done this third year, which I think this schedule is even harder than last year's schedule, especially if we don't get the luck that we had when it comes to injuries, surviving 10 weeks without without sustaining, major injuries to us and having luckily playing, backups, guys like Tyson Badgett and stuff instead of Justin Fields and playing Gardner Minshew instead of Anthony Richardson, we definitely have a harder schedule next year. But when it comes to the Chargers, I mean when it comes to the Giants, I think we win that game out there. They just got our running backs coach. Um
My
that other
running backs didn't do shit this entire year, so does that really matter anymore?
Yeah, I really think the running backs. I just think we got to get better with the O line, and I just think a new offensive coordinator, the scheme alone, help the run game. But I think we'll win this game against the Giants. I don't think they're just that much of a good team. Uh, they signed Daniel Jones to that big contract, so I don't know if they're going to get a quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But a lot of mock drafts they do have, guys like Jaden Daniels going to New York, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Um, Carson Wentz, he had that big old contract he got from the Eagles, but they still drafted Jalen Hurts and got Carson Wentz out of town. So you never know what can happen, man. You
If
never know.
Carson Wentz lasted Jalen Hurts' rookie year, then he got benched, and then Wentz was out of there. And who says that cannot happen again?
Yeah. So the next game I got is the Los Angeles Chargers an away game.
Um,
That team looking like they might get either, Jim Harbaugh or maybe Ben Johnson coaching their team next year. So I expect Herbert to have a breakout year.
um,
Well, not a breakout year, but a good year where he actually winning.
well, I thought about this game in particular because I'm like, which Chargers team is going to show up? And I came to the conclusion it does not matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because we're the New Orleans Saints with Dennis Allen as our head coach. So I got the Chargers winning. I don't know which coach they're going to get, but going to be better than the bum that we have in our front office right now. Or on the sidelines right now. Justin Herbert is younger and more superior than Derek Carr. And I think that's going to be the make or break. Obviously, he's coming off the injury, so we don't know how efficient he will be to start the season. But honestly, if you're a Saints fan, which we are, you want to pray that this Chargers game is either week 2 or week 3, maybe even week 1, because you don't know how Herbert's going to be. But honestly, even if it is week 1, we're probably still going to get whooped. I don't care, man. Even if it's Jim Harbaugh, man, we might, instead of losing by 28, we'll lose by an additional 29. So give me Chargers all day.
All right, so you have us with 7 wins and 10 losses.
Yep, 7-10. That sounds like a Saints record.
Okay, well, that's definitely seems like go ahead on easy way to get Dennis Allen fired, in my opinion.
Yep.
The Chargers, I definitely expect them to be better. They got the good pick that they're gonna have. They're gonna have good head coach options right now. I believe that Justin Herbert is good, but he just gotta start winning games. Like he's having good stats, but he has to start winning games. But I think a lot of that had to do with their head coach. Like Staley, he was probably a coach just as worse, if not worse than Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
So I
One thing
expect,
I will give Dennis Allen credit, he does not lose. He does not give up 63 points.
yeah.
Wait, hold on. Maybe we can. Can the Saints allow 63 points to get Dennis Allen fired, please?
Yeah, as bad as I think Dennis Allen is, I think Staley, he probably was run up. He probably was, had him beat as the worst head coach this season. But Dennis Allen, he's not far behind. But I expect them to any hire that they make, they improve much more. Now the thing about the Chargers, they're still in the division with the Raiders that's on the uptick. You have the defending champions, the Chiefs, and on top of that, you got Sean Payton. I think in his second stint, he's going to improve much more when it comes to Denver. So, but on top of that, I think that we lose this game to the Chargers. Once again, it's going to come down to head coach. I think whatever head coach they bring in is going to be much better than Dennis Allen. I don't think they're going to miss on this time having a chance to bring in a head coach to get Justin Herbert on the right track. And it comes down to the quarterback. Like, the head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterback trio matters much. That's why the NFL had winning 8 to 9 games this season, and we were saying they're crazy. But we underestimated how bad Dennis Allen is. We tried to give him the benefit of the doubt with the easy schedule, and it didn't matter. But you got us going 7-10, Mikey. Um, I don't remember exactly what my record was. Let me go ahead on and try to skim through it real quick again. I got us splitting with the whole division, so that's 4 games. I got us winning the Raiders game, that's 5. I got us winning the Washington games, that's 6. And I got us winning the New York game, that's 7. So I got us going 7-10. I think our ceiling is 8 games, maybe 9 if we could squeeze out 9. But I definitely don't think we're going to hit 10 games this next season. I definitely don't think we're going to have the luck as far as injuries don't go. Like as far as facing opposing teams, backup quarterbacks, we're not going to have that luck again. We're not going to have that luck 10 weeks in where we're relatively healthy on our side of the ball again. And I think our division gets harder. So I could definitely see us going 7-10, and 8 games and 9 losses. That's very possible, and I think 9 wins is our ceiling. But that is very questionable in itself. But we definitely in the 7-8 win range, right, with this schedule. But I'm gonna go ahead on and wrap things up after this, Mikey. You got anything else you want to close out with?
Man, if you are a New Orleans native and you are a big Saints fan, try to get into basketball more and be a Pelicans fan because that's the only way that's the only way that you're going to be able to experience hope.
Mm. Yeah, I agree with Mikey, man. The only thing that we have right now as a glimmer of hope is the Pelicans. Hopefully that we got Willie.
I never thought I'd say that out of my mouth.
Hey man, the Pelicans, they got a good roster, man. They got Jordan Hawkins, he's coming into his own. He could shoot that motherfucking ball. They got Zion Williamson. He's pretty much healthy he's ever been in a season. Hopefully he continues to stay healthy. They got Brandon Ingram. He had like a 30-point triple double last night, I believe. Trey Murphy, I think that's my favorite player on the whole team. He could do he does a lot. You got Herb Jones, he's anchoring the defense, he's making hustle plays. You got Alvarado, he's making hustle plays. Larry Nance making hustle plays. Najee Marshall making hustle plays. It's just everything going to depend, in my opinion, Brandon Ingram and Zion aggressiveness and Willie Green's coaching and rotation and big moments. That's everything on depend on that, and of course health. But I'm gonna go ahead on and end the stream right now. Probably get back on as soon as we get some more news when we come to a conclusion of the offensive coordinator. I have more interviews for you guys coming soon. Probably gonna do a mock draft. We're definitely gonna do another schedule prediction when it gets closer to the season, and hopefully we just have some better days ahead, man. Hopefully Dennis Allen could get up out of here. Hopefully Mickey Loomis, he moves up or take a step down or whatever the case may be when it comes to Kai Hartley. I just hope we have better days ahead of us, because right now as a fan, the morale is very low. We have a lot of people turning in their season tickets for next year, and this is not a good time to be a Saints fan. Like, expectation is very low right now, and it's just not fun at all, man. But anything else you want to say before I close out, Mikey?
Yeah, what's when the gum smacking? What?
He was talking about Mickey Loomis in the press conference, how he was just smacking that gum hard as hell, like he was playing baseball in the 1980s.
Well, honestly, if I have to be real, I didn't even watch the Mickey Loomis press conference because I already knew what that man was gonna say. Oh, Denzel, he's a good coach. Give him one more chance. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me when you're like, so say you're in a relationship, right? And say the woman be cheating on you. She already cheated on you 2 times. Are you gonna still stay with her? Well, if that's Mickey Loomis, and then sounds the girl, and he keeps cheating on Mickey Loomis because they promised to be good, but he keeps cheating on him with the bad side. Mickey Loomis would apparently do this. Like, what Mickey Loomis likes, he loves mediocrity. Like, he loves that thing like it's a lollipop.
Yeah.
Like, the Saints are the most middest, and I just created a new word, They are the middest team in the NFL.
Yep.
Man, Dennis Allen winning 12 games, man. Whatever.
Well, all right, Mike, man. Thanks for joining up the stream, man. It was good doing the prediction with you, man. But take care. I'm about to get ready to end the stream, man.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Mikey, man. Got some good takes from him right there, man. Mikey always supporting the show, always calling in, man. Shouts out to Mikey. Um, Great stream, no cap. Thanks, Dana. I'm a try to do another stream soon as possible when we get this new offensive coordinator in the building. Jerry says also stream. Thanks, Jerry, for the support. But yeah, man, it's like an abusive relationship right now with the Saints, man. It's just like we all been in that one relationship where we had our first love and we just stayed with them way longer than we should have. Everybody was telling us they're no good. Family, friends, we even losing ourselves. Like we losing our own, you know, pride and respect and dignity and just running back to somebody that we just know is not good for us. That's why I checked out. I checked out emotionally and I checked out financially. As long as Dennis Allen in the building, I'm not spending money on going to a Saints game. Well, I watch the games on TV? Yes. I'm not saying I'm not gonna watch the game. I'm not saying I'm boycotting, but I'm not spending money on buying a ticket, and I'm definitely not spending money on buying a ticket to a away game traveling to watch this product. I'm not about to deal with this in this abusive relationship. So I'm doing what's best for me, what's best for my mental, and I'm just checked out. Like I'm gonna still be a fan. I'm always black and gold till I'm dead and cold. I'm gonna always be a fan, you know, and I'm gonna always want what's best for my team. And I don't have any high expectations with Dennis Allen as the head coach. I don't have any high expectations when it comes to Mickey Loomis just being delusional. So until things change with the staff and until things change maybe with the front office, I'm just going to be watching games, seeing what's happening, and hope for the best. Like I'm gonna just hope for the best when it comes to a head coach sooner or later. Hope for the best when it comes to a quarterback because the fan bases are split right now, and it's just real toxic to be a fan right now. It's just real toxic. I just want it to be everybody on the same page where everybody just loving everything. Like I'm in Houston right now, and these fans are just going crazy for CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans. Everybody like the head coach. Everybody like the quarterback. It's fun out here. Yes, different fans going to disagree on certain things, but for the most part, as a whole, they like what they got going on with their head coach and their quarterback, and that's the two main things you need for success, as we seen with Drew Brees and Sean Payton. But right now, this is an abusive relationship, and I expect y'all to not put too much expectations on this team, and just don't let this team disappoint you. Don't let this team hurt you. Take your fandom, and shelter it, savor it, don't let this team, get you about your money. Don't let this team get you out about your character. That's all I'm saying. So, you know, I feel like next year is going to be a tougher season. It's going to be Dennis Allen last chance, and we're going to have to see what's going to happen, man. We're going to have to see what's going to happen because right now they just gaslighting us. They think we don't know what's going on. They could just tell us anything, but it's a reason why we upset, you know. But we just hope for better days ahead. But I'm gonna go ahead on in the stream with that. You know, y'all be safe out there with the weather. Y'all be safe out there when it comes to Mardi Gras coming up. Having fun, enjoy yourself. But who that, man?